Today in Daily Rewind, Trump and Biden in the fierce battle. Terrorist shooting in Vienna. And finally, NASA calls Voyager.
Now, some of what we saw from the president right there as Vice President Pence starts to talk. It is true that President Trump has won the states of Ohio.
President Trump and Joe Biden are neck and neck in Michigan and Wisconsin, key swing states that Trump narrowly won in 2016. Early results on Wednesday morning show. Early vote counts on the morning after Election Day show Biden leading by the slimmest margin in the two battleground states. In Michigan, 49.4% were going for the Democratic presidential candidate, compared to 49.1% for Trump, with 94% of precincts reporting. According to data from the Associated Press as of 9:30 a.m. A similar situation was playing out in one state over in Wisconsin, with Biden netting 49.6% of the electorate, versus 48.9% for Trump. 95% of precincts were reporting there. Michigan carries 16 electoral votes and Wisconsin carries 10. In 2016, Trump beat out Hillary Clinton in Wisconsin by less than 30,000 votes, becoming the first Republican to take the state in more than 3 decades. He also won Michigan by a tiny margin, 10,704 votes that year. A terrorist attack in central Vienna on Monday night left 4 people died and many others wounded, including a police officer, government officials said. 1 gunman was killed by the police. Austria's Interior Minister Karl Nehammer called that gunman an Islamic State sympathizer at a Tuesday morning news conference. He did not reveal the man's name, but he said the police had searched his apartment. "It is definitely a terror attack," said Austria's Chancellor Sebastian Kurz. The shootings took place in the heart of the Austrian capital, hours before the midnight start of a nationwide lockdown, one of several being imposed in Europe to stop the spread of the coronavirus. The Chancellor said he had called in troops to ensure the security of Austria's official buildings, freeing up the police to concentrate fully on the fight against terror. Austria, and Vienna in particular, has been a target over the years for terrorist attacks, often with deadly outcomes. Religious and political tensions, sometimes with no clear connection to Austria, have led to sporadic violence that has killed and wounded both civilians and political figures there.
Farther into the solar system than ever before.
They were launched in 1977. That's a long time ago. We say 41 years, but it's really two generations ago.
NASA has re-established contact with its Voyager 2 spacecraft as it travels more than 1.6 billion miles from Earth, after the probe was left flying solo for 7 months while repairs were made to the radio antenna in Australia they used to control it. Mission operators sent a series of commands to the 43-year-old probe using the ground-based Deep Space Station 43 antenna, which established a signal confirming the call was received. However, due to the distance, the ground team had to wait more than 34 hours for a reply. But Voyager 2 received the commands and sent back a hello. DSS-43 is located in Australia and is part of a collection of radio antennas around the world that combine to communicate with any spacecraft beyond the Moon. This test communication with Voyager 2 definitely tells us that things are on track with the work we're doing. In 1989 the spacecraft flew over Neptune's North Pole as it made a close flyby, which pushed it southward, and it has been heading in this direction ever since, now more than 11.6 billion miles from Earth. The spacecraft is so far south that it doesn't have a line of sight with radio antennas in the northern hemisphere. DSS-43 is the only technology on our planet with a transmitter powerful enough to reach such a distance, and it is now receiving science data of interstellar space from the probe.
In fact, there was no longer any measurable solar wind. We had left the bubble, basically.
The team has been looking forward for this for a long time and really working hard in an engineering sense.